Hi, I'm Emily Watkins, and this is the WBFO Disabilities Beat. Today I'm excited to share with you the first installment of a new series of profiles of leaders in the disability community called Voices of Disability Pride. Each of these profiles is a chance to hear about someone's advocacy journey, the skills that help them succeed, and what advice they have for people new to the disability community. This week, we're highlighting Michael Rogers, a prominent self-advocate in Buffalo and regional organizer for the Self-Advocacy Association of New York State. This interview has been edited for length and clarity, but you can listen to our full interview at WBFO.org. Well, Mike, it's great to talk with you again.
You too, Emily. Always.
You know, I've met you through a lot of different disability community events and through your advocacy work. But I know one thing that we both have in common is that we're both Canisius graduates.
Yeah, and doing some research on you, because I researched the other way. I noticed that, yeah. A fellow alumni.
Yeah, go Griffs. I mean,
Yes.
I know for me, my interest in disability and journalism came from Canisius. I'm wondering, is university when your journey of advocacy work began, or did it come after that? Tell me where it all began.
You know, it's very interesting that when if I were to say how I became a self-advocate, I wouldn't say any of that. I would say that when I was about 10 years old, I was sitting out on my, in front of my house, noticing that a lot of my, the people that were around in my neighborhood saw me, but they didn't really see me. And I said, something's wrong and somebody's got to fix this. Now, I knew nothing about the self-advocacy movement. I knew nothing about disability rights, but I thought it was wrong that there seemed to be an invisible barrier between the ableist world and the people with disabilities. And I said, I'm going to find a way to fix that, because I think we all live on the earth and we should all interact. And that was in the 80s.
And so 40 years later, still doing that work.
Yes, but I'm doing it officially. I never thought of myself as an advocate or anything before I got involved with the Self-Advocacy Association. I took an AmeriCorps project role, in telling your own story, speaking up with a bunch of people, including Gwen. And that's when I found out that that was an actual movement, that there were people before you that fought for you to get what you have now. And, I love social justice, social activism, because to change something, you actually have to do something to change something. Change does not come by you just sitting there doing nothing. Energy takes movement, activeness. You can't just sit there and say, I hope one day this will change. Well, maybe it will, but are you going to be a part of that change?
And for people who aren't familiar, I mean, what is the self-advocacy movement?
The self-advocacy movement, to me, is the idea of knowing something isn't right, that you don't have a voice, and then realizing that you do. Because so many times, so many things as a person with a disability, you say to yourself, oh, I wish I would have known that sooner. Or I wish that would have been told to me sooner and I would have done that. So I want to always be that person to let people know that things are possible. Look at what people have done in the past. People like Judy Heumann and those people in the 60s going, we need to be able to get on buses. We need to be able to go to school. You can't, not have us get an education. Though, and taking that energy and building upon that, always building upon that, moving into the able-bodied world saying, we're here. We want universal design so that we can all use this. So I'm not over here and you're over there, that we're together.
And I'm asking everyone for this series, if you could give advice to a younger you or another person with a disability just getting started on their own journey of self-advocacy, what would you tell them?
Don't let the fear stop you. Achieve early. A lot of people in the able-bodied world will tell you to wait, wait until this happens, wait until that happens. Most of the time, I think it's because they're afraid that if something doesn't go right for you, you will fall apart. I say to you, do things early. Do things when you're younger. Don't wait to achieve those things, because although those people are well-meaning, you know, I'm not immortal. I don't carry a sword, and I'm not from the Highlands of Scotland. So although I am Scottish, I found out through genetic testing. Um, you need to achieve while you're younger, and I'm not being ageist here. I'm just saying reality. The earlier you get started at something, the better it is. And could you fail? Sure. But most successful people fail over and over again. They don't give up, and they don't wait 500 years to get something done. So my advice would be try things out, explore, achieve things early, and you'll gain confidence in yourself, so that when those naysayers come to the door, you can say, no, look at what I've done. Look at what I have achieved. Things that you don't think I'll achieve, I've already achieved. So what do you have to say about that?
Hmm. And I think it's interesting the point you bring up that like some people view people with disabilities and people like us as like really fragile. And
Yes.
I guess I'm wondering, what do you wish non-disabled people understood about our community?
I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna sound revolutionary to some. We're not as different as you think we are. The idea that people with disabilities, we have totally different thoughts and different ways of, that we're sent from on high with glowing halos around us. No, we experience life just like you do. You just have to realize that. And I think our biases that people have, oh, it must be terrible being disabled. The fact that you're saying that is the problem, not our disability, but the fact that people think those thoughts, give us impediments that we really shouldn't have.
You can listen to the Disabilities Beat segment on demand, view a transcript and plain language description for every episode on our website at WBFO.org. I'm Emily Watkins. Thanks for listening.